Today we are going to work on arrays and object destructuring. Arrays and objects destructuring and spread operator. Spread operator we have actually already worked on it. Rest pyramid. We are going to work on these things. Array and object destructuring, spread operator and rest pyramid. What exactly array and object destructuring? Any idea? Destructuring means getting, basically. Construction means creation. Destruction means removing or demolish, collapsing. Here also the same thing. While creating an array, it's like construction. If you wanted to get something from an array, like destruction, getting what you wanted. Right? How do you get from array? Usually we pass index. That is how we get it. But there are other mechanisms also. It simplifies getting what we want. That we will try it. Let me create a new project. And, so I'm changing it here also. And let me run it. So first of all, imagine I have an array. 10th marks is equal to 80, 75, 96, like that. I have an array. Array of how many elements? 6 elements, 6 subjects. Now imagine this is for English, this is for Telugu, this is for Hindi, this is for science, social, maths. English, Telugu, Hindi, science, social, maths. Now these array elements, I wanted to store it into variables. I wanted to store it into variables and I wanted to perform something through variables. How do I store it? Through index. So now I'll say let English marks is equal to 10th marks of 0. Then let Telugu marks is equal to 10th marks of 1. Like that we will be writing it. 4, 5, 6. Like this we will be writing it. This is, yes, there is nothing wrong in it. But there are simple ways out. That is what actually destructuring is. Now what I will do, I will say let I'll create a square bracket here, 10th marks. This is an array, and here I'll create English marks, comma, Telugu marks, comma, Hindi marks, science, social, maths, like that I'll be creating. Instead of writing it in 6 lines, you can write it in single line. This is called array destructuring. It's called array destructuring. Understanding what I'm saying? Well, now usually the content will be getting from the servers. Usually, any application you see, you open your email or you open your Facebook, Instagram. That content which you are seeing is part of your device or coming from internet. So they'll be usually sending it in either arrays or objects. So you wanted to get the data, you wanted to store it, display it. In that case, it will be done. Without this destructuring array also can be used. This is simplifying your life. Right? Now let us try this. Now I'll come here. src app.js and let me do data. Then what I'll do is say learning array and now let us try let and marks and write like this I have created. Now this for English, Telugu, Hindi, science, social, maths. Now what I will do, I wanted to store English marks. Normally what we do is say let the English marks is equal to 10th marks of 0. 0 will be giving you normal English marks, Telugu, Hindi, science, social, maths. Telugu, Hindi, science, 0, 1, 2. Like this, we'll be writing it. If I say console log English marks, likewise English, Telugu, English, Telugu, Hindi, science, social. Now, if I come here and see all the marks, we are getting 90, 80, 70, 60, 40, we are getting it the normal way. But I'm showing you the simplest way using array destructuring. Now what I will do, I'll just comment all these things. Say let is equal to 10 marks. The array. Now the zeroth element I wanted to store it in English marks. Then element Telugu marks. Then Hindi marks. Then MC marks. Social marks. Like this I have created. Now instead of writing it in 6 lines, I have written it in just single line. Now if I refresh it, I still get the same value. Understanding destructuring the array. So, okay, now out of these things, okay, I wanted to store English, Telugu, Hindi, but the science I don't want it. Social I want it, maths I want it. So English, Telugu, Hindi, science I don't want it. I am removing the science, but comma I am not removing it. That means for that fourth element, third element, 0, 1, 2, 3, third element, we are not storing it any period. Understanding? Now science marks will show naturally error because we don't have anything. Science marks is not different. Understanding? If I remove this comma, then the problem. The order will be changed again. I don't want the science marks to be stored. So now science marks also will be stored in social. Maths marks will be stored in science, like that it happens. That's why comma should be there. Understanding? Or what I want English marks, I want maths marks. I don't want any other variables. The English marks comma, Telugu marks I am deleting it. Hindi marks I am deleting it. I am deleting but not comma. Special marks I am deleting it, not comma. Now English will be stored into this, and the maths will be stored into this, and the remaining are empty and different. Understanding the behavior. If you don't want it stored, just leave empty comma. That's it. Now if I come here and see now, it's 90 and 40. If I don't give commas, then maths will store 80. If I remove these commas, for example, here it will be storing 80, which is not right according to our. Understood? Destructuring array, right? This is how we destructure the array. We can destructure the object also. Now let us try to destructure the object. Now what I will do, say let searching details. This is an object. Object means key value pair string. So I will say the name. Name. Last name. And question. Then age. Around 50. 55. 49. Age 49. Location have created this. Everything is in object. Now I wanted to get these values and store it into separate variables. Store it into separate variables. Now I wanted to store age, for example. Say let Sachin age equal to Sachin details dot age. Like this will be storing. If I want his first name, I have to create. How 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pin, say name, cut, Sachin, last name, cut, age, Sachin, profession, profession. Then location, Sachin, email, dot. Instant. Now, if I want, I can print whatever the values I want. I'll say console log the Sachin age. I'll get Sachin age UT, which is the 40. Are able to see 49 we are getting. We are accessing it normally, but we can now use destructuring. How I just comment these things. Comment these things. And what I will do, I'll write like this. Let for array we have used square brackets, right? Here we'll use floor brackets. Equal to Sachin. Then same keys you have to give. Same keys. First name. Then last name. Then age. Then location. Profession. Email. Now these are the variable names. First name, last name, age, location, profession, email. And for those variable names, these values are stored. Whatever the key name insert is, the same variable name I am creating it, it will automatically assign to that. Now what I will do, I will type first name, 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 last name, age, location, profession, email. Now I'll see here, refreshing it. First name, last name, age, location, profession. Understanding what I'm doing? Destructuring. We use these alerts, but while we are doing server communication, we send the request, we get the response. The response will be getting either arrays or objects. That value we will be using, extracting it. Okay, now here I have created the name first name, the variable name first name, because the key name also the same thing. We have to give the key name actually, but I don't want it to give the key name. I wanted to give the name as FN. We just give colon here. Then, yeah. Then see here what say FN is showing the first name is not there. Let me remove this. Are able to see? FN means Sachin first name now. You can give your own name. You can give or you just change the name to Sachin first name. Then first name will be referred as Sachin first name. Understanding? Without knowing array and object destructuring also we can do. Without knowing that also we can do. But this simplifies out. Without knowing a lift also you can go to the fifth floor. But with lift your work will be a bit easy. Exactly the same thing. Understanding? Clear? Understood what is the array and object destructuring? Understood array and object destructuring? Array and object destructuring. Array and object destructuring. Next, we are going to work on spread operator. What? Spread operator. We have already worked on it actually. Spread operator dot array, right? Dot array means we'll be getting the values from the array and we will use whatever you want. Now let us see here. Say imagine we have this 10th marks array. This 10th marks array, I wanted to store it into different array actually. I wanted to store it into different array. So let new 10th marks array is equal to, I'll say array, I'll say dot. Now all the elements will be coming into this a new copy. A new copy will be created. Now there is a difference. Now this is there is a difference between these two things. Here I have used the spread operator. Here I am not using it. And let's see the difference. Then are you able to see any difference? Here array has 6 elements. Here array has another array that has 6 elements. This is a direct array of 6 elements. This array has one element only. That one array has one element has another array which has 6. So this is a spreading. All the 6 elements are coming as a 6 element sequence. But this one, that array is coming as a one element sequence. Understanding what I am saying? Clear? Understood what is spread operator? And the spread operator is useful for creating a copy of it actually. This is applicable to array and applicable to object also. Now just to show you another, I'll create Now I have tried spread operator for array. I show spread operator for object. Now say let Dhoni is equal to, I'm creating an object name question being nationality. Now I have created like this. Now I wanted to create for Virat Kohli. Then let Kohli is equal to, everything is same except name. Profession Virat Kohli also cricket. Team India, nationality India. Only name is changed. So now what I can do, I just create a copy like the class bracket. That means an object. Here I will say dot 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 zone. That means we are creating a copy of this object into this. Now let me see what happens. I'll say console log Kohli. What it should show? Name Dhoni, professional cricketer, team India, nationality Indian, it should show. Name Dhoni, professional cricketer, team Indian, nationality. Because of whatever we have created for Dhoni, the same thing we are creating a copy of it. Once I create the copy, I wanted to change the name. Submit. Let's say comma. I'm accessing the name. Let's say Virat. So we have what we have done, instead of creating everything for Kohli, we have created a copy of it using dot 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 spread operator. Then I have changed only the name. Now, if I refresh it and see, you understand. Name Virat Kohli, professional cricketer, team India, nationality. I'm creating a copy. Yes or no? So dot dot dot, we call it as spread operator, is useful to create a copy of either array or object. Then you do whatever you want. Now here what we are doing, Kohli, actually for Dhoni we have written it 5 lines. In Kohli we have written it in single line actually. We have created the copy. Everything in Dhoni became to created copy here. Then I am changing only the name. Understood? This is called as spread operator. It's called as spread operator. Understand? And we have one more is also there. We have one more is also there called rest parameter. We have one more is there called rest parameter. What exactly this rest parameter is? Any idea? Parameter means what? Passing values to where? Function. Parameter name itself is a function. Parameter means it's related to function. Now, the advantage of using rest parameter is you can pass any number of parameters. Now, it's like this. I'm just creating a function. Let text equal to, I'm creating a function like this. And here I wanted to pass marks as parameters. And we wanted to calculate each and everything, and I wanted to generate the total. Now, how many parameters we have to pass the techniques? Around 60 I have to pass. Now I'll say S1, S2, S4, S5, like that. I have to create 60 parameters. Can be done, but there is an efficient way. what is that? I'll simply say marks, for example. I'm saying marks. How many parameters are we accepting? Only one. Okay. Now, what I'll do is say dot 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 means you can pass any number of parameters. Now, marks is actually an array. Marks is actually an array. How many elements you can add in array? Any number. Now, what I will do inside this, I'll say console log say marks. Then I'll see here we take the total. I'm passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any number I can pass it. Now, all these things will be passed into this marks array. I can pass 100. Can I pass 100 parameters? 500, 1000, 2 parameters. Yes, you can pass anything of those things. Marks as 1, 2. It is actually an array. Now I wanted to calculate the total. What I can do? How do I do the total? So we'll say marks dot reduce, which is an array. Marks dot reduce and creating say total and mark. Here I say return total is equal to, and this will give us a value. We'll say let the total and then say console log. If I don't give these dots, it is a single parameter. If I give 3 dots, nothing but an array, you can pass 5 or 50 or 500, 5,000, 5 lakh, 5 crore, any number you can pass. Now I just run it. How much is the total? 120 is the total. So let me check it once again. I am passing 16. Then total should be 136. Understand? So we can create arrays, we can create objects. And what is the purpose of array and object destructuring? Getting the values or extracting the values from array or object. It is simplified way of accessing or getting the values from arrays or objects. That is the array or object destructuring. What is spread operator? Spread operator is useful to create a copy of array or object. It works for both. Once you create the copy, you do whatever you see. Someone is filling the form. While filling the form, we see what he has filled. Except the name, we will maintain everything. Even exam also, we will do the same thing. Your friend is there. You know that guy studies well. Whatever he writes, you write it. You write everything, including the name. In your name, you write it. Understanding what I'm saying? Confusion. And what is rest parameter? The number of parameters. Where will it be stored? In an array. Now I wanted to create a function, but I don't know how many parameters I want. In that case, we can use this rest parameter. And remember, spread operator and rest parameter both are dots only, three dots, but both are different. There we call it as spread operator. Here we call it as rest parameter. There is a difference. Even though both are dots, you can see this is these three dots are called as spread operator. Operator. These three dots are called as rest parameter. That's why parameter is very. Parameter means part of the function. This is the operator. This is operator. This is parameter. This is the spread operator. This is rest parameter. Understanding what I'm saying? Small concepts only here. That's it for today. And in our next session, we are going to work on something called version control. What? Version. We just do some research on what is this version control. Anyway, I will be telling you what is this. I want you to do a bit research. Okay, please. Even though we have tried now, I just want you to try it. Future versions will be whenever we start working on server communication, then we may need to work. Reduce we are throttling. No? See, first of all, reduce is a callback function. Reduce accepts callback function. How many times that will be called? Array count. If I have 10 elements, 10 times it will be called, and this will be mark will be coming 10 times. Each time a new element will be coming. That we are adding it to total. We are not saying is equal to plus is equal to, we are saying. If total is we haven't assigned any value to total, that means by default will be 0. Then 0 plus or equal to, we are saying marks. If it is 5, 0 plus 5, 5 will be added. Then again 10 is that 5 plus 10, 15. Then 10, 25. Then finally we are returning that. Now reduce by default left to right it will be doing. There is one more thing called right to left. Reduce right means it calculates from right to left. But for addition there is no difference. But multiplication there will be difference. Understand? If you want that detail, then you have to pass parameters. English marks, comma, Telugu marks, comma, Hindi marks, like that. If you want really like that, like detailed, you take one parameter only, but you pass that one parameter object you pass. That object will be maintaining key and the value. Now 60 subjects are there. You can pass 60 subjects with comma separated value like this. Or if you want subject wise, you create an object, subject 1 marks, subject 2 marks, subject 3. You create a single object, you pass that object as a parameter. Then you extract it and use whatever. Understand? have worked on